During the 1960s, the hippie movement became a counterculture movement in the United States. It increased the American population during the Vietnam War, defined by its embracing of non-traditional ways of life, views, beliefs, and rejection of traditional social norms. Hippies aimed to overthrow institutions such as capitalism, the government, and social hierarchy, according to History.com. Hippies led movements and were strong advocates, including the anti-war movement and the civil rights movement. Even though the hippies movement ended in 1970 due to the Kent State Massacre event, its influence is still being seen today in music, fashion, and social views, according to Study.com. The hippie movement promoted freedom and peace. The hippie movement focused on nonviolent protest, community sharing, and opposed materialistic things. Using peaceful protest to bring about social change was a key component of the hippie movement. Inspired by people like Martin Luther King Jr., they planned marches and sit-ins to fight for civil rights, to oppose the war and environmental causes. They fought against discrimination, oppression, promoting freedom and equality for all people regardless of their race, gender, or background. Hippies embraced community sharing through practices such as communal living, where the resources and responsibilities were shared amongst each other. The goal of the communal lifestyle was to promote a culture of cooperation rather than competition. By establishing a sense of community and mutual support, by placing a higher value in relationship experiences in human self-development rather than material things, hippies rejected materialism. They looked for a different way of living that reduced their need for materialism and the mainstream economy. Their focus on experimentation, self-discovery, and alternative lifestyle inspired people to consider the ideas that were outside preconceived notions, according to Lotha. To aid in self-discovery and broaden their consciousness, they frequently involved experimenting with mind-altering substances like psychedelic drugs, in search of a more meaningful connection to the universe. Hippies experienced alternative spiritual practices like meditation, yoga, Eastern philosophy, and group rituals. Music and art were popular forms of hippie expression. They could explore their feelings, identities, and worldviews in unique, unconventional ways. Hippies often went camping, hiking, held communal gatherings in the outdoor spaces to connect to nature. The hippie movement promoted love. The hippie movement promoted love by advocating for a culture of peace, empathy, and understanding. Embraced free love, demonstrating relationships that are consensual, non-exclusive, and based on respect and understanding of one another. Hippies participated in various non-monogamy partnerships, including group relationships, open relationships, and polyamory. They prioritized communication and honesty over the idea of being in a possessive and a romantic relationship. Hippies were known for having casual views on intimacy, considering as a pleasurable and natural aspect of life. They rejected the social norm of premarital sex and supported adults having consensual sexual relations. To emphasize the concept of unconditional acceptance and love, inspiring people to form relations with others despite differences in the background, gender, or ethnicity, according to Legnazize. The 1960s and the 1970s sexual revolution aligned with the hippie movement. It promoted rights for the LGBTQ individuals, the sexual freedom, and reproductive freedom. Hippies promoted these rights and tolerance for a range of sexual preferences and lifestyles. The hippie movement influence is still relevant today, but in many ways. The hippie movement emphasis on love, peace, and social change has left a lasting impression on society, influencing culture, attitudes, values, and practices. The hippie movement popularized spiritual practices such as meditation, yoga, and holistic healing, which continue to be embraced for people's physical and mental benefits. The hippie movement raised awareness about environment issues and advocate for sustainable living practices, today there's still concern for climate change and pollution. The aesthetic and artistic expression, including psychedelic art, music, fashion, still continue today in society. Activist movements today continue to draw inspiration from the 1960s, advocating human rights, the LGBTQ, and the anti-war efforts still continue today, according to Olson. In summary, the 1960s, the hippie movement has profound impact on society and continues to have an impact on today's culture. A significant shift in society norms and values were brought about by the hippie movement, which placed a strong focus on peace, love, environmentalism, countercultural resistance, and spirituality. The current movement for equality in society, environmental sustainability, and the freedom of speech are still elements of its legacy. For meaningful change, it's important to challenge authority, as the hippie movement reminds us. Though the time has ended, its goals are still relevant and motivate people to create a better world. Thank you.